Tonight's guest is the BAFTA-winning comedian, author and actor. Last year he appeared in the blockbuster Deadpool 2, and now he brings us the final series of his global smash hit, Catastrophe.
Do you guys want to go to Buckingham Palace with us?
Oh, no, thank you. I don't like the monarchy.
Oh, that's funny, because I've seen you looking at pictures of Princess Beatrice on your phone.
Well, that's not because she's royal. She has giant, beautiful eyes, and even if she worked at Pizza Express, I'd still look at pictures of her on my phone.
That's not creepy.
And also, do you know how much the crown jewels are worth? If they sold one of those, just one of those jewels, it'd fund the NHS for 200 years. So, for that reason, I hope they all get rickets.
Other than that, they are quite fun.
Please welcome Rob Delaney! Hello, mate.
Thanks. Hi there.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you. You know, I was a paper boy growing up. I had 2 paper routes, and this reminds me of when the big truck would come by and deliver me the big stack of newspapers that I would then go, oh, it even smells. I love the smell of news.
So you're feeling nostalgic.
Yeah, I love it.
Congratulations on the new series of Catastrophe. It's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And what makes it even more incredible is how horrific your year's been.
Yeah, we're approaching the 1-year anniversary of my son Henry passing away from cancer. He died last January after about a year and 9 months of being diagnosed with a brain tumor.
Yeah.
And with a tumor which disabled him. When they removed it, they damaged some cranial nerves. They were great doctors who did it, but it was all wrapped around them, and oftentimes when you have to take a tumor out from there, that happens. And so, so we learned a lot. We got a crash course in the NHS and social care. I should say, taking care of Henry was very fun.
Right.
Because it was like his brainstem where the tumor was, so all his disabilities were physical. His frontal lobe was fine. He was smarter than you. He was funnier than me. He was clever. He learned sign language very quickly.
Right.
He was so fun to be with. And I'm not biased. And so he was fun to watch and fun to be with, you know?
It's difficult. The first thing that I thought is to go through something that horrific.
Yeah.
I was amazed that you were able to go to work and write jokes.
Yeah, at first, when I started writing Series 4 with Sharon Horgan, I thought, this is what I thought. I thought, I'm going to get paid to do it, whether it sucks or not, and I don't care because my son just died, so maybe I'll just make a shitty show, and if people don't like it, they can fuck off. That's what I thought. And then we started writing, and I began to enjoy myself here and there, and I would still duck out to cry, or not duck out and just start crying and make everyone watch me cry. But I realized that grief and work, if you enjoy your job, which thank goodness I do, grief and work can be compatible. And if I feel like shit, I have to say I feel like shit.
What kept you going throughout?
My other kids, my wife. I'd like to be able to one day say, like, myself, because I think it's important that one's relationship with oneself is good. I'm not there yet. I'm sort of faking it till I make it, you know? But I love Henry. I love his brothers. So they're still fucking and now when I hold my other children, I physically feel that they are like stardust that has temporarily assembled into human form and will one day disassemble and become something else, and I know that's true. So now when I hold those kids, I mean, that still brings me profound joy.
And do you feel Because you're in the public eye, do you feel almost a responsibility to talk about this?
I do. The hardest things that I've had to learn have been surrounding my son's illness and death.
Yeah.
And if I can share that with anybody in a way that helps them navigate their own grief, you know what I mean? Like, that's the best thing that I could do, is say something that leads another couple to have a discussion that lets them not get divorced so that they can, you know,
And did you go to any kind of groups like that?
Oh, I still do.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Yeah, because I really feel like an alien now. I feel weird.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm a different species. Like, I've seen behind the veil, and I've been humbled viciously, and I now know things that, you know, not everybody knows. Because I can sit down with a dad whose daughter didn't wake up one morning because of some congenital heart defect that they didn't know about or something. Yeah. I can sit with him. Let's say his daughter died 10 years ago. And I see him living his life. I see him preparing a cup of tea. I notice that his shirt is buttoned properly. It's not buttoned in the wrong buttons. I see him hear something funny and laugh at it. I see him just doing normal things, and I'm like, okay, I could maybe do that. I galloped to the first bereaved parents meeting and was like, I know I need this. And let me feel my emotions with people who aren't judging, who know what it's like.
Yeah.
And, you know, I talk to other parents who've lost kids, and they say that as time goes on, and it can take a long time, that what happens when they think about their child that died, the first thing that they feel is really happy when they think about this wonderful child that they had. And thinking about what they looked like, you know, combing their hair. I mean...
But that must be incredible when your brain goes, here's a memory.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. Remember that lovely day?
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it hurts. And, I mean, like, I think about Henry's hair, because we produce bald babies at first. They're bald, shockingly. I have very weak genes, by the way. My children all look like my wife. They all look a lot more like you than they do like me, which, that's something that maybe that's another show. But so just as he started to grow hair, as he was turning 1, they found the tumor in his head, and they did chemotherapy. So his first hairs fell out, and he was bald. And I remember I would hold his bald head and just kiss it and feel the warmth of it. And it was such a pleasure to do that. And then he grew hair after the chemo was done. And it got long, and we didn't cut it. And oh my God, it was so beautiful. And I just loved to put my fingers through it and comb it behind his ear, and just, like thinking about that hair. When I get mad, I think about how beautiful he was.
Yeah.
And it's like offensive to me. Like, his eyes were such a beautiful blue. It makes me angry that people won't get to look at them. That's fucked up. I mean, those eyes were 2 of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, and just offends me that they're not there for people to gaze into,
It's incredibly important, I think, that you're doing this.
Hey, man, we, in the UK and in the US, it's funny, people over here will be like, well, British people, we don't like to talk about emotions or death. And same with America. Don't denigrate yourselves. American people are just as bad as you. But it does happen,
Do people struggle to talk to you about? Because I know somebody who went through a similar thing that you happened, and I just didn't know what to do.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But I wanted to give him love and sort of compassion.
I mean, what I would say to somebody in that situation is, and it's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
Somebody who's lost a big one, like a sibling or a child or a spouse or something. you're thinking about that I'm thinking about Henry. So if you
Yeah.
come up to me and you say, you know, hey, I heard it's been just about a year since your son passed away, and I would say, yeah, it has. And you know, you might think you brought him up. You didn't bring him up. I was already thinking about him, and you like allowed me to just talk about him a little bit and think about him, and that's to me is such a pleasure. You know, like so my wife was pregnant, for example, when Henry died. Okay, and there were some people who would find out about that. And you could see, I have never seen such relief on people's faces.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, so another big thing. So I don't have to talk about his dead baby. I can talk about his new shiny baby that's coming. And I wanted to kill those people because that's not interesting. How many people are pregnant in here right now? I mean, that's not news. It's great. But, like, we all know pregnant people. Big whoop, you know? They wear their buttons on the tube announcing that they're pregnant. Fantastic. That's not people get pregnant. But my fucking 2-year-old, he didn't, a little bit before his 3rd birthday, he died in my home, on my couch, of a brain tumor.
But I can't even look you in the eyes because I feel so sad, and I wouldn't want to. See, that's the thing. I wouldn't want to burden you with extra pain.
Not a burden.
But you see what I mean? It's like.
Well, see, now I've learned that my capacity for pain is so much greater than I ever thought possible, right? So, like, great things to say. Okay, there was one of Henry's night carers was from Nigeria. I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but she sure wasn't British or American. And when I told her that Henry's tumor had returned and that he was going to die, she started screaming, "Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, Jesus Christ!" And I almost started laughing. I was like, thank you, yes. Jesus, scream it from the rooftops. My beautiful baby boy is gonna die. I want people to fucking scream. So that was so much better than so many responses. And like, there is nothing that anyone can say. Words mean nothing to me anymore. I know I've used a lot of them this evening, but I'm not trying to put a verbal Band-Aid on anyone's grief. That's impossible. So you can also kind of relax if you know someone who's died, because there is nothing you can say that will fix it. You should acknowledge it, you know, and yeah, so that's another thing about grief. A sort of metaphor that I've kind of developed is that, like, in the rainbow of emotions that we feel in life, I still have the other ones. I still have red, blue, indigo for some reason, purple, whatever. But now there's a band of black in there that was not there before. And so that's a part of my life now, is that black. Why wouldn't it be? I try not to hate it.
So do you accept being in the black, or do you try and get out of it?
I do try to, because I loved Henry. I love him today. I remain his father. And the reason that it hurts so much is because of how much I love him. You know, grief and love are really weaved together. So I should be sad right now.
What is next? Well, first of all, congratulations on the new baby.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. You know, regarding the new baby, I was afraid when he was born. I looked at him and I was like, I'll love you. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, you know, I'll do the stuff. I'll change your nappies, I'll take you to school, I'll buy you food, trousers, etc. But am I gonna really surrender to really feeling the feelings for you that I should?
That was going through your head, jeez.
Yeah, and I thought, I don't know if I'm gonna be, I'm afraid to. Yeah. And he made short work of me by being so fucking cute and wonderful. He's so funny and fat, and he laughs. Holy shit, he laughs so much. We should probably take him to a doctor. I mean, what does he laugh? What's so funny? I am crazy about him, thank God. You know? And I think about him growing in the same womb as Henry. This is nuts. I had a dream the other night that Henry left a message for him in my wife's womb. And it was like a little picture frame hung on like a little nail.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Henry nailed it into her uterus. Anyway. And I couldn't read it. It wasn't for me to read, but I knew that our new baby saw that, and I woke up and it made me feel happy. You know, I don't know. I guess that's one way of my psyche wrestling with everything that's happened.
It's fucking beautiful.
Thanks.
And I'll be thinking about what that message was all night.
I know, right? Yeah.
I think we all will.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming
Thank you
on.
very much. I really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Rob Delaney. It was a pleasure.